Okay, I hate to have to do this, and you hate to have to hear it, but unfortunately I feel it is necessary. Please, please, please watch the entire video before you make a comment. I know that there might be some of the things in the video that you may not agree with, and you may automatically want to comment about it, but please sit through the entire video first. I'm not attacking anyone. I don't mean to be offensive in any way. I'm simply stating my opinions as I have formed them. If you have your own opinions, that's fine. If you want to create a strongly justified argument for your opinions, that is great. I look for that. I look for any constructive criticism. But please, if you are looking to just start trouble, or to try to get me mad, or to just rage on the internet, no, don't do that. I'm not going to feed into that, and it's just not something that we need necessary. This is a serious topic, serious discussion, and I'd like it to be taken that way. Thank you and enjoy. One of the problems I had when I was a Catholic was the idea of confession. The practice of telling a priest all of the sins you have committed and asking for forgiveness. Now, the idea of asking for forgiveness is fine with me. I don't got any problem with that. But what I have a problem with is needing a priest to be there and to tell me that I am forgiven because I went through the process of going to confession. That's something I always thought was strange, something that never quite sat right with me. I mean, if I want to ask for forgiveness, why do I need a middleman to do it for me? I mean, if I want to ask for forgiveness, I'll talk directly to God himself. I mean, that's what prayer is, right? You're talking directly to God. So why do I need to go to confession and tell a priest, someone else, what I have done when I could just talk straight to God instead? It always irked me. It was a little nuance that I never could quite agree with. And then thinking about it, the whole role of the priest in general is something I don't quite understand. So, a little history, of course. There used to be a time when not everybody could read. Okay? That's historical fact. Most people know that. So, how were stories, songs, or religious texts passed along from person to person? There had to be someone who was literate, who could read. Thus, when it came to religion, you needed someone who could read and someone who could interpret what was being said. The priest. I'm saying priest, but also I'm talking about the general equivalence of men who lead their religious organization. So, that was the role of the priest, and at the time it was very necessary, because if you wanted to spread the word, you needed someone who could actually read the word. But as time grew on, and now, as we're in our modern generation, everyone pretty much can read. And everyone pretty much has access to all religious texts for whatever religion that you are participating in. So it begs the question, why is the priest still around? I mean, I don't like the idea of one man leading a group of people and telling them what he thinks is right and what he thinks is wrong. You see, I really believe that the time has passed for such a role to exist in religion, because now I would firmly like to believe that everyone who partakes in religion has read their religious text and has made some conclusions from it. Conclusions that may differ from the priest. which is okay, and I would say should be encouraged. Because let's be honest, a priest goes to seminary school, whatever the equivalent is before becoming a leader of their organization. And they are taught certain things. So they're going to have certain biases. I mean, we're humans, we have biases, we all do. Let's admit that that's fact. So they're going to have some biases, and then they could push those biases on to their congregation. And then that doesn't really benefit anybody. Instead, what I believe should be happening is people should be reading the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, whatever religious text you have, and be making their own interpretations, coming to their own conclusions. And I really think that the time of the priests should go past because of that. Because we can all read and we can all think. The Creator, God, Allah, whoever you want to call Him, gave us free will. Can that be denied? Can that be disputed? Sure it can. I mean, based off of the laws and the rules of in the world of which we live, we have limited free will to a certain extent, but we have free will nonetheless. So we should have the free will to read a religious text and come to some conclusions to it on our own, not through the help of some third party, however well-intentioned they may mean. About a month ago, I had someone come knocking at my door, talking about the Jehovah's Witnesses, and I thought it strange. I've never quite understood the idea of going door to door trying to tote your religion. It isn't like a door-to-door salesman who has a product that is there and he can describe its functionality and how it could be useful to you. No. It is completely and utterly pointless to go door-to-door preaching the Word of God, because it's not something that can be sold. It's something that needs to be felt. I think a lot of people would agree on that. I think it's reasonable to say it's something that needs to be felt. It needs to come from within. There are countless stories of people trying to convert their friends or their family because they found God, and now they want everyone else to feel God. Here's the thing. A certain amount of expectations and goals need to be met before one can accept a religion. It needs to be in the right time, the right place. Maybe you're recovering from a substance abuse. Maybe you've had a traumatic experience, a car accident or something like that. And maybe for some reason at all, you just get this feeling. You can't explain it, you don't know what it is. But there you go. It's a feeling. It isn't something that can be sold. It isn't something that can be really explained in any way that's going to make sense to anyone but you, because you felt that experience and it's significant to you. So, while the idea of trying to get your friends and family to embrace a religion because you have and because you want what's best for them is nice, it doesn't make sense. Because you had an experience personal to you, they haven't. And you telling them all of the benefits that they could receive, like you're trying to sell a vacuum, isn't going to work. Because there's no feeling in it. They don't feel the connection to God that you feel. Now, I know there's been a bunch of studies and research and polls and things like that talking about the benefits of going to church. People have happier lives, people live longer, things like that. And most of the people who use those surveys would like to say, oh, it's God. Because it's the feeling of God, I'm embracing God, and thus I'm enjoying a healthier life, a happier life, and a longer life. But there's just one little thing I'd like to add on to that. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's true. I can't tell. I can't say. It's not my place to say. But I would like to give credit where credit is due. Because church isn't just about going and praying to God. You could do that at home. It's about the people. It's about the community that you build with people who share a common interest. It's just as if you had an interest in playing poker, an interest in baseball, an interest in video games, interest in movies or books or things like that. You form organizations, groups that share the same interest. And you're talking with people, you're making friends, social interaction, something that humans require. And I think that's the thing that gets left out of these surveys and polls. The human element. It's not just God doing it. It's people. It's people. Give them credit where credit is due. I mean, they will help you when you're down, and they will celebrate when you're up. They are with you, and that is their role. They help you feel better. They make you laugh, make you feel happy. And all those things come together. And it's not just going to church and embracing a religion. It's interacting with people. It's talking with one another, making friends, and living. So that's just something I want to make sure is noted. Sure, you can give all the credit to God that you want, but remember, you live with human beings. Give them a little credit where credit is due. And one last thing to go along with my earlier topic. Think for yourself. That is a gift. The human ability for intelligence, for logic, for understanding, for reasoning, that is a gift given by the Creator to be used to benefit ourselves. And yet I feel like it is a gift that's being wasted because people sometimes don't think for themselves. And that's a shame. And it's, dare I say, maybe it's sinful. Given this extraordinary gift for intelligence that we humans are capable of, and we don't use it? That's a slap in the face if I ever saw one. So remember, don't be afraid to think for yourself. It is the gift you have been given. Use it. Embrace it. Be one with it, and be not afraid to use it. It's the most glorious thing we have.